Yeah, after planning, gathering, and designing, the next step of the software development life cycle template is executing the whatever design you have developed till now. Sorry, that's development. So that phase is development. So basically, I haven't added any slide for this. I just want to give you what is development phase and what's going to happen. It's not uh, that huge to add a specific phases to it. So the programmers would start with the coding process on a day-to-day basis, selecting the framework of your choice. You have to continue with the development procedure at this point. Now, developing effective software solutions is crucial for enterprise use, and here a dedicated development team plays a vital role in bringing ease and pace to the software development process. Just now, in our previous slides, we have discussed regarding the development team, who all will be present in a development team: front end developers, back end developers, database admins, and then we will have a complete set of people there to work on. So that's how a development team works, and then they bring up new inventions to the world so that we can work with a new software. And after this phase will go on to the integration. All the applications nowadays integrate completely with other services, and you have to focus on giving your application the same functionality. This is especially important in companies as their employee information is generally synced to another database. Thus, you need to focus on integrating your software with these database so that you can access their storage space. So after looking into all the phases, so after designing, requirement gathering, designing, developing your code, then integrating with the existing services of the same company, so now all set, it is time to test the effectiveness of the development process or the steps that we have done till now. So it's important to handle the final testing. Not only is testing important as a separate stage, but also it's necessary at the other stages. If you handle this throughout the beginning stages, that would help you detect and correct any issues beforehand. If you test it well and find no defects in the program, that ensures quality assurance. Even if there are some minor defects in the program, people can still use it. So now, in the testing phase of SDLC, the complete application goes to different phases of the software testing life cycle. From the understanding of the requirements by the testing team till the test reporting phase, there are actually different phases of software testing life cycle. So we will begin with the requirement analysis. Once the requirement analysis is done, then we will do a proper test planning. Will we have to plan according to the time that we have? We have to set up the timeline. We have to set up the milestones, and once that is done, then we will develop test cases based on the functionality and the features of our application. Once test cases are developed, then we will set up an environment setup is nothing but you have to provision staging server or testing servers to run these test cases using various tools. It could be a sonar cube for normal testing. If it is API testing, you can use API postman. So it could be any tool, but you should ready for the test environment setup after the test case development. Once test environment setup is done, then we will move on to the executing these test cases that we have written on phase 3 of this software testing life cycle. So because we have test cases already, we have environment set up, then what we have to do is we have to execute those test cases. Once execution of test cases is done, and gate quality gates are also passed, you will set up the quality gates, and quality gates were also passed. That means it's time to create a complete test report. You have to manually create a test report. In addition to that, the software, the tool that we use will also give a complete set of tests you have done and their results, the test report, and finally we'll close it. This is how your software testing life cycle works. Now, test reporting is the last phase of software testing life cycle that you could see. Exactly, it is there in front of your eyes on the screen. So after this phase, all the bug fixes and the bug reports delivered to the client if it exists, the types of testing that may be relevant depending on the type of system under development, which is given below. So there are plenty of testings. However, this example, let's look into those test first. What are these? What are there? And then we will. The first one is testing of defect, then path testing, dataset testing, unit testing, system set testing, integration testing, black box testing, white box testing. These are widely used. Widely used. Unit testing is widely used. System testing is widely used. Anyway, unit testing, system testing, and then black box testing. We are going to do in following modules using Sonar Cube. Even other checking lot of bug tests and quality, setting up the quality gates, everything we are going to do in previous sorry, no, sorry, not in previous, in forward or the coming forth modules. And white box testing, regression testing, automation testing, and user acceptance testing, software performance testing, and most importantly, at our company at this moment we are basically doing user acceptance testing for one application that we have recently built. That's actually fun time. So I'm talking about the testing and we are doing testing. That's nice. So the final one is even software performance testing also, it's there. And then what else? That's it. These are the tests that we do. These are more than enough, but these are specific as per requirement we do. It doesn't mean that you do all the tests for every application. No, not at all. It depends upon the requirement and necessity. And all set, all done. It's time to expose our application to the external world. That's what left. After successful testing, the developed product delivers or deploy at the customers and for their use. Once the software has been completely transforming into a bug-free product or application, and no high priority bugs persist in the software, now it's time to deploy to production where customers or end users will use the product. So when the deployment phase is running, then all the bugs present in the above phase, that's the testing phases, are fixed. So now here what left is we'll have a key inputs. Basically we'll take key inputs from previous phases, finalized application. If all set, no issues, then you have a finalized artifact with you. So that artifact or archive, tarball .tar.war, whatever it may be, there are different versions. The artifact would be ready. Now it is time to put it into the production server so that end users or customers can explore that or can access it. So for that, there are a few more steps in between that. You have to do final security review that will be done by the security team. Then application security monitoring and a response plan. These are the two steps you are going to, these are the two more stages that you are going to follow before you deliver the product or the application to the end user use or customer use. So once final security review and application security monitoring and a response plan is done, now it's time to deliver. It's time to deliver. So at the end, before delivering, two more steps that takes place. The first one is security review sign off. That means everything is done. We have done a security review. No malicious attacks can be taken, and that can be happen, and then no vulnerabilities are left with our product. These are the two things we'll say that, and then if all set, we'll sign off. We'll do the security review sign off, and then security monitoring and a response plan. Once it all set, then we'll go for the deployment. That's it. Your deployment is done and dusted. So once deployment is done, the next, what is next? As soon as the developed product delivers to the customers or end users, they will first do the beta testing. That's called beta testing. Once it goes to the customer, this is called beta testing. If any changes are required or if any bugs are present during the beta testing, then they will report it to the project team. Basically, you might have seen this in a lot of applications that you are using through browser, or maybe I think most probably you'll find it through browser. Some of the features or functionality is in beta testing. Or not only that, if you are a software developer or maybe data scientist or maybe business analyst, when you go for downloading an application or .exe file or archive or .war file, what you find there, some are basically long term support, that's LTS, and others are in beta testing. That's what they're saying. You can use it. While you are using it, if you find any bugs, you have to report it to them, then so that they can they can correct those bugs, and they can come up with the proper product. And after few years, that beta testing application will become the LTS, and then the previous one will be terminated. That is the overall procedure. That's how it works. And once these required changes are complete or the present bugs get their fixes, then the final deployment will be complete. Soon after the deployment of the application to the production server, the normal users or customers will start accessing the developed and deployed application. Then it's time to plan for maintenance. That's what left. Some bugs will be found by the end users or customers or client side. Those bugs can be fixed in the next phase. That's the maintenance phase. So the maintenance of the application occurs through the development life cycle stages, but sometimes you would notice a shorter period of it. This usually appears after deployment, when some development team members keep working on the application still during this period. They look for any critical issues that previously left their notice, and they fix it later after some months of verification and user testing. The support work is passed to different support team. So with this, almost all is done. So the only thing that's left is closure, handoff, and support. That's what the final stage of your software development life cycle. So in the last phase, normally what happens, uh, whatever you still need to put in more effort. You have to gather everything about the application. You have to speak to the customer, users, client side users, everybody, and gather the complete information. What kind of any feedback from them, take any feedback from them, then, and everything and its specification, and just pass it, all these things, all this information to support team. So you need to identify many other requirements, though these should be prepared beforehand. So plus you have noticed all those things. With this all done and dusted, it's time to move on to the next phase and enjoy the application. Congratulations, your application is in air. Your users can use it.